Okay, we are now recording. It is 6:01, and I call the meeting to order. Library Building Committee. Welcome, everybody. I was hoping to give everybody the night off because there wasn't a lot of business tonight, but all of a sudden there was. So we do have a lot of people on Zoom, which is great. No problem there. We did get moved up to conference room 5. And we have a new member here. I want to welcome Joe Morocco, who's our, if I get this right, our interim purchasing director. Did get that right? Okay, so welcome, Joe. Nice to have you here. Let's go right to old business. We got minutes from July 24th.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Ike.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Berman. I had a couple of minor things. If anybody else does too, they can follow me. Bottom of page 1, the last thing, the exterior, I think it wants to be the exterior mock-up wall. Then page 2, the big paragraph at the top. There's 3 places where it should be slab and it says lab. I think they're all should be slabs. And those were my corrections. Anybody else?
Yes.
Patrick?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sharon, I just had a couple of real minor ones. For the people attending, I believe Elizabeth Lane was actually in person and she's listed as remote. And then under the item number 5, I think it was other business from committee members. I just wanted to make sure we clarify that that was in reference to the McMahon-Wintonberry, just so people know. And, oh, okay. And then I think I had just one other, but I don't know if that's going to be pertinent. With regard to the Riley lot, we talked about the town manager talking to both the Manchester and Windsor town managers. I don't know how critical that is, but we did have a lot of discussion on that particular topic.
Anyone else? See no hands. You're good, Bob?
Yep.
Okay, hand up. Okay. All right, so we have a motion to accept minutes as corrected. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Okay, motion passes. Thank you. Pat, let's go right through our usual guests here. So first we got Downs, Anthony and Johnny here.
How's everybody doing tonight? Think it's gonna be a no agenda night for the downside of things, but I like to just share a big update that we got done and solidified and rectified this afternoon, and then I'll go into some progress photos, and then I'll take any questions. Right now, we don't have any financials to talk about, which is kind of a good thing. So I'm just going to break the news out here that the town of Bloomfield and Windsor have negotiated to bring that soils over to the landfill. We do have pricing at $9 or just over $10 a ton to bring it there. We are going to start on Monday next week. We're probably going to be on that for about 2 weeks, loading the trucks up, bringing it to the landfill. It saves a lot of money on our COP log. It bumps our owner's contingency, I believe, back up over around $1 million. So with that being said, the cost difference quickly off the top of my head, we were with a cost exposure without applying any of our contract established allowances. We are around $293,000 to get this soil out off of the Riley lot. At the end of the day, we are taking that $293,000 and we are now only paying out of pocket right now $63,000. That being said, is we don't have the actual weights, so that number might fluctuate just a little bit. It might go to the higher side, it might go under. But right now, based on 4,500 cubic yards, with the 1.33 tonnage factor involved in it, it comes to around $63,000 with the $10.61 tonnage tipping fee. So that saves about $230,000 per se at this point, going back to the owner's contingency. So we were very happy to get that call from Alvin this afternoon. We talked to Mark over at the DPW over at the landfill in Windsor. And he's ready to take this material on, and we're going to start trucking it out of there on Monday, first thing. So it was a big win. Lois, I appreciate you bringing up the topic and talking about that Windsor landfill, and following through with the DEP and so on and so forth. So I appreciate the efforts on that. It
You're very
definitely helped.
welcome. My one suggestion would be to see DEP as a friend,
Yep,
which
absolutely. And
they
I know
have
Mark.
been to us in this
Yep.
case. Thank you.
Yep. I'm
I'm
gonna
so
send them
glad it
a
worked
thank you
out.
email tomorrow.
Great.
But that was a big cost exposure that was alleviated. And now with that $63,000, we have allowances already established in our GMP contract and within Manafort's contract to not increase the budget moving forward. So there will be no change order, no cost increase, because we will be able to pay this $63,000 per se out of a contract contingency already.
All
So
right,
there should
very
be
good,
no
Anthony.
cost to the job. So this is fantastic news. And I couldn't be an end of the day on a happier note for
Yeah,
everybody.
Lois is the one who sent us in this direction. So you initiated this and we thank you for that. And then following that, there's been many people, involved in making it all happen. Most significantly our town manager, Alvin. So we thank you as well, among others. So it was great.
One thing I'll say, team, is one team, one fight, right? One
That's it.
team, one fight, and you guys equipped me with the information, and I went in and just had a big mouth and a very assertive tone, and we made it happen. So I thank everyone for your roles, because this was a collective success. My part was the easiest, but thank you so much for an opportunity to be a part of this very successful project. So thank you.
Good news all around. Thanks. All right, Anthony, you've got some
All right,
pictures.
we got some pictures,
we like
pictures
pictures.
to go through. Right. Let me know if everybody could see. If I need to zoom in a little bit, let me know.
We're on the screen.
All right. Let's see. This first shot is actually of our freshly newly installed EPDM roofing. That is, I believe, looking out, I think, towards, let me see here. Mountain Ave. Yeah. So as you can see, this is the area that we're standing in and taking the shot from. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, that's looking out towards the town hall right up here in the top right corner. All right, so we're looking this way. All righty. So that roofing is probably about 75% complete. What we have left to do is the lower roof, the canopy. We do have some, once the framing goes up on the parapet walls and the brick and the stone, we're gonna have the metal flashing and caps go on top of that. Over in this little section right here, there's a skylight that they need to install above the stairwell. That hole is in already. Everything is pretty much, I wouldn't call it, super weather tight coming from above. Again, we still have a little hole here because of the skylight. But these guys came in about a week and finished about a good chunk, about 75% of the work moving forward. As you can see here, we have progress. We have slabs going in. This is mid pour of the concrete. As you can see, all the steel is down, the wire mesh, the chairs, the decking. The gentleman in the photo, they're working and the pour of concrete's coming in. This is, as you can see here, on the first floor. This section where my cursor is the slab on grade on the east elevation, the main focal point of the building. All right, going down the list here, we have the concrete being covered in burlap because we are having it wet cure. At this point in time, every couple days, with the weather and whatnot, we spray these burlap sacks down. It helps the concrete cure. This is on the slab on deck. Again, once they're all complete and they screed it and they finish it, the burlap sacks go on, and then in a few days later, they're able to remove them. Okay. So we have a lot of work going on out there now. As you can see, this is the second floor area. The burlap is up. The concrete slab is always curing. But right now you could see the exterior structure, exterior framing, cold form metal framing going up. A window will be here, a window will be there, going down the line. As they continue to wrap around to the north side, they will drop down to the main level and keep moving, working around the building. That was a big task, a big milestone to achieve, the slab poured, and now we're able to release some other trades. As you can see, I think in a couple shots down the line, you'll be able to see some ductwork going in. But this is another progress on that steel exterior cold form metal framing that's looking out towards the Riley lot and towards Isaac's. All right, they continue to move around to the north. At the end over here where my cursor is the mechanical area, the outdoor mechanical space. We have our dunnage in. And as we continue down to the other side of the building, looking on the north side, you have our wood beams. You have more cold form metal framing going in. We like to call that actually structural metal framing because there are design and engineering characteristics to that. You'll hear me say moving forward, when I start talking about interior partitions, non-structural steel framing, and that's for all the interior walls and partitions that are going to be going in. As you can see here, we're making more progress. The windows are here. And probably in a couple weeks, we're going to get our storefront curtain wall glass and glazer out there to start field measuring and start producing some aluminum around these openings. Going down the line here, we have our ductwork, first ductwork delivery there on the second floor. It's all covered per SMACNA standards and LEED requirements. At the end of the day, once this ductwork goes in, it will be go through a final duct cleaning procedure plan per the documents. As you can see here, this is the trunk lines that we have delivered. As you can see, they started taking it, they started hanging ductwork, which is great news. This was all the due diligence that everybody did during the MEP coordination. They're starting to lay out the ductworks. They put all their hangers in to support that ductwork and hang it. And we're going to continue pushing that accordingly. After that's in, we'll start with fire sprinkler and conduits are going to be going in electrically. And then we'll start laying out some walls as well. This is a picture as of today. This is the slab on grade on the east elevation, the main portion of the building. They started with their stego wrap, which is down. As you can see here, we have our floor boxes installed, plumbing underground stub ups, so on and so forth. Once this is done and inspected, they're going to start with the wire mesh, as well as a 4-foot border around the slab perimeter edge with 40 PSI 3-inch insulation. And that's basically this area right here highlighted that Johnny did. And that's basically the progress so far. So we hit a couple milestones in the last couple weeks. Couple slabs are in, slab on deck, second floor, half of the slab on the first floor, which is the metal deck. We're working our way down the building. We're going to continue we're supposed to pour this on Monday and then work our way down to the elevator area, as well as the electrical room and the water room for the fire sprinkler system. And then last but not least would be the installation of the slab on grade within the garage area. That's a little bit more cumbersome because we have pitches to floor drains. We have pitches for ADA. So there's a little bit of coordination involved between our concrete contractor, our site work contractor, as well as our plumbing contractor, to make sure everything's going to be drained and pitched properly to those drains, as well as maintain the 2% ADA requirement that is needed for ADA regulations. And that's basically that's it. Anybody have any questions?
Questions for Anthony?
Looks great.
I can't see any hands up. If you have a question, please go right ahead. Okay, we're good. Anthony, that's great. Progress
Thank you,
really is
everybody.
something. There is a temporary stair that's been erected there so the workers can access all the levels safely, easily. And
Yep.
so with the supervision of Downs, when you visit the site and check in, you're able to go up if all things are safe to the upper levels, and you
All
can
the way up to the roof.
yeah, and had that experience last week, just standing on the second floor, looking out over the high space, the main space of the library. I mean, I always envisioned that high space. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. But I never thought about from the second floor, you can actually look out the front east window and see the town green, see the town hall. We knew that was going to happen from the main level, but it happens from the second level as well. So it's really spectacular space. It'll be beautiful.
It's absolutely
Right.
stunning too, is if you look out the backside too towards Isaac's with the cluster of trees that were removed, you have a whole view of the brook and the Riley lot when it's all paved and the bridge. So it's gonna be quite something when we're all done.
All right, thank you. Let's move on to Glenn at Public Works.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Anthony. It's nice to see this progress and these milestones achieved. Things are really coming together and you can conceptualize the bigger picture. It's looking great over there.
Thanks, Glenn. Appreciate that.
I'm just going to share my screen real quick. All right, can everybody see the renovation cost tracker?
We're good, Glenn.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So a couple of things I want to go over real quick. The column on the right, column C, under proposals. We're on track right now. All the cells that are highlighted in yellow are the jobs that are ready to be awarded tonight. Sharon presented those materials, hopefully to you in the conference room where everyone has had a look at these proposals. We're ready to move forward with the storefront in the children's area, the vestibule remodeling, which includes all automatic entry doors for the east and west vestibules, the flooring installation, which will include all carpeting and the subfloor buildup for the connect track and the adult library, the teen room construction, originally an alternate. It's going to fit into this budget well and leave us enough of a contingency where we can certainly incorporate that into the renovation, which will be a nice addition. The ductless split system, this is going to serve the new interior teen room and the east and west vestibules. Stafford Mechanical, all these are low bidders, by the way. Everything in the yellow cells, these are the low bid numbers that are ready to be awarded. And one small requirement was the DECD signage that's required. Just like we have out front of Prosser Library, McMahon will receive similar signage indicating that state grant funds were utilized in the construction. On the left-hand side under estimates, the abatement for $50,000, that's a placeholder right now. As you see on the right-hand side, we've already used Anthony's abatement to abate the storage room tiles for $3,600. Originally, there was a $180,000 placeholder, which was a little overkill. I think we were going by SLR's recommendation to remediate the entire adhesive flooring under the carpets, but that is not necessary. So that's a 6,000 square foot remediation savings. $50,000 is going to be for any unanticipated work pretty much with the plumbing and opening the interior walls when Millennium Builders does the ADA renovations. Going down the list, rows 8 through 13, everything that's boxed out with this heavy black border. These are the job packages associated with the electrical upgrades. Bid number 1145 is due to go out next week. It will be advertised next week. Sharon, Joe, and myself reviewed the bid documents. It will be forwarded to Andrew Crumby for final review and advertised on the state website, the town of Bloomfield website, along with in the Hartford Current. I'm also going to reach out to Joe Toner, the executive director of the Hartford Trades Council, and I'm going to let another MBE contractor that I work with closely, who specializes in all of the above, everything from cameras, access controls to Ethernet cabling. I'm going to tip him off to this bid being advertised as well. Let me scroll down here. So our totals, the good news is that these placeholders and estimated values, along with the work that's already been awarded and that will be awarded tonight, we come out at just over 1.1 million. It sets us under budget by 324,000 and change, not taking into account the $100,000 contingency. So we are in good shape money-wise right now. I'm looking forward to getting this work out the door and things in process, since we have a very tight deadline. Does anyone have any questions?
Questions for Glenn? Go ahead, Clark.
Lois was up for.
Oh, we have Lois.
Yes.
Okay. Lois?
Thank you. It's very exciting to see that we're moving along and all these pieces are coming in a manageable rate. What I'm not seeing here, and perhaps it's because we're doing it another way, is the solar for the roof.
Mm-hmm. So Lois, right now the power purchase agreement is pending. We actually have Attorney Crumby working on that, and we're still trying to coordinate a power purchase agreement for about a 20-year lease of solar for both libraries.
So what will that impact this budget, or is it because it's an operating cost it won't?
That was going to be at no cost for the town for the installation of those panels.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, Clark?
Glenn, the electrical bids, is that going to be a public opening at the purchasing office?
Yes, correct. So that's due back September 6th by 1 p.m. public opening.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Glenn? Okay, so Glenn, you've got 6 low bidders that you're recommending we move forward with. Can we have a motion that the building committee, what we're doing is we're recommending that the town manager enter into contract.
So moved.
Second.
By Mr. Ike, seconded by Mr. Berman.
We're gonna do these as all 6 as one item.
I think we can.
Okay, that's fine with
I mean, that's the motion I suggested that Mr. Ike has offered.
fine with me.
Any discussion on the motion?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead, Clark.
I've been talking to Glenn the past couple of days. I've been trying to understand this, and Glenn, when he called me today, I was in the car. But could you just explain to us, like, we have Millennium Builders, we have 2 quotes from them. One for library storefront reno and one for teen room reno. And then we have a price from Commercial Storefront Services. And I probably wasn't able to ask you the question well, but I don't understand how all this interacts and how Millennium Builders and Commercial Storefront Services, are they competitors, or is Commercial Storefront Services a subcontractor?
So what happens, Clark, is Commercial Storefront is the subcontractor. Essentially, you see the sheet that says the non-pre-priced task. There is a markup with Millennium Builders, so that specific task is not outlined in their construction catalog for pricing.
I'm sorry, Glenn, where is
Um,
that?
It should be with, I don't have it in front of me. It should be attached with commercial storefronts proposal. The second page, it's got a blue ribbon at the top that says Easy IQC, non-pre-priced task.
Wait, we're on storefront rental?
Yes, correct.
And this is the top of page,
It should be the second page of that attachment, following commercial storefronts proposal.
you're talking about reimbursable fees?
It's this one. I printed it two-sided, so the first side is this,
Yeah, it's this.
and the second side is this.
Let me take that. Oh, okay. So this is actually page 2 of,
Yep.
commercial storefront services quote. Okay.
So essentially, Clark, what it's saying is Millennium Builders has the right for negligible markup to cover the non-general conditions for commercial storefront, since this was not listed as in their construction catalog for pricing.
So all this other, I've got it. All this other stuff in here just distracts me because I don't understand all these masonry items and other items that really have nothing to do with the storefront or windows or anything like that.
So the way it's broken down, you've got the vestibule, which is strictly the east and west entryways. That's what commercial storefront is going to be working on or awarded. The teen room, that's the interior CMU and glass partitioned wall. And then the children's storefront, you've got that T111 and sheetrock wall. That's all being demoed. Again, with CMU at, was that 2'8" or so, Jeff? And the rest is all glass. And that's got an exit door. That's got the exit door entering into the children's reading garden.
Right, okay. And then the 5/16 laminated butt glazing system in the teen room or a part of the teen room.
Yep, so that's what was spec'd out by TSKP for the glass.
So that's in the teen room renovation, obviously.
Correct, under row 20, teen room 102 for the cost of $66,953.
And then there's I'm just talking about scope of glass work. Replace the existing cracked window.
Yep, so I have one more price to come in. Our low bidder currently, where are they at? $5,130. That's advanced performance glass. Believe it or not, Millennium Builders was significantly higher than that. So I've spent a lot of time with each individual trade package and task to get the best pricing.
I think I saw that item on page 2 of the storefront reno, and Millennium had remove and replace up to 1/2 inch wide broken window glazing. He had 470 lineal feet, which is more than the length of a football field, like a football field and a half. So I think that's maybe where, I mean, I'm just reading what he has here. Item 27 on his sheet, so.
Which for the children's storefront, the storefront rebuild?
Storefront, yeah. Item 27,
Mm-hmm.
Millennium's list.
Factors quantity 470.
It seems excessive. Doesn't seem real.
But that's the total is $3,700. I can confirm the units. But certainly it's not the price for a football field of glass, linear foot.
Understand.
Yep, I'll confirm that. Sometimes these fine details, they list out every single item. And you've really got to go through it with a fine tooth comb. But any questions, I'll certainly highlight that for now. And I can ask Peter with Millennium just to confirm that unit measure for you.
Just whatever. And there's not a lot of detail on the drawings. Are you sure that the bidders have the correct hardware spec for what we need?
Yes, so I've been going back and forth with Peter and Millennium Builders and Jeff Brown with TSKP, covering any questions that arose during their site evaluation or any follow-up questions so that they can get an accurate proposal. And Jeff has been providing additional details as requested by Millennium.
Okay. One more was, so commercial storefront is subcontractor to Millennium Builders?
Correct.
Okay. So his proposal says all applicable state sales tax has been included in the proposal.
Yeah, that won't be included in the final price. We're not charged any tax.
Understand. I just didn't know if that was an error or if we should get a credit for that amount.
Yep, I'll make sure no taxes are included.
Okay.
And that's reflected in this cost that we're agreeing to tonight.
I had one other question. I think the difference in price between the two flooring bids. You're carrying commercial flooring. Actually, what amount are you carrying for them? I can't.
Commercial flooring, let's go back here.
Clark, can you speak up a little bit? It's hard for us to hear. Hold on.
Sure, I'm at my laptop. I don't have a decent mic. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, Clark, move your microphone closer to you. There you go.
Sorry. So I'm sorry, let me just, what's the number for the flooring that you're carrying?
So 40,095. I had called, so you received two proposals. The first one was like 20,000 and change. That would have gotten you about half the carpet. So that was an error on their end. So I did confirm these numbers. But commercial flooring came out to $40,095. The two competitors came out at roughly 50 and 52, I believe.
Yeah, there's one for 50, 55 plus or minus.
Yeah.
So
I've
do
done
we
a
have-
lot of work with commercial flooring in our other municipal buildings, and they've done fantastic work for us.
So not to belabor the point, but do we have a proposal from commercial flooring for the amount you're carrying?
Yes.
I don't see it, so I see a price for 49,985.
No, we have it
You do? I don't. I haven't.
right here.
40,
There was a second email from Glenn today with an updated, yeah.
Thank you.
Just when you think you have everything, there's new information.
That's why it was 5 o'clock. I checked for more emails.
Okay, fine. I didn't see this, so.
Clark, you good?
I think so.
Okay, thank you, Clark. Any other questions for Glenn? Any hands up there, Sharon? Okay, we have a motion on the floor. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
I
Any nays? Yeah, motion passes.
good work, Glenn. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you, Glenn.
Thank you all.
We are on our way. Okay, TSKP, I didn't expect any updates from you guys tonight, but we're welcome that
Looks
you're
like
here.
Richard got connected. He wasn't connected, but now he is.
Yes, I am.
So Richard,
I
you want to
really
start?
I don't really have anything new to report.
Thank you.
I know Jeff has returned from his break, and he has been spending all day catching up on RFIs and shop drawings. So I don't know, Jeff, if you want to add anything. I really don't have anything new to report to the committee.
No, I don't have anything other than the usual. I did answer 1 or 2 RFIs today, and I got maybe 13 issues to deal with tomorrow and through this week. So I'll be
Yeah.
talking with Downs through the week to make sure that's all resolved. And then I got to tap out on the lead. I got to get that lead thing together. So those are the 2 things I'll be focusing on. And then I should be coming to the site soon. I got to do a walkthrough.
All right. Questions for
That's
our,
all I have.
questions for our design team? All right, thanks for coming, guys. All right, Clark, you had your hand up.
Yeah, Glenn, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Thanks. How are you pricing the new entrance canopy? How is that being handled?
I just got a budget number right now, 50,000 from Downs. I still think we need to agree on a style of that canopy and how exactly it's going to attach to the building. So that was.
I can look at the, but yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's a little more work to be done on that, but that's an accurate placeholder right now for the canopy.
So what I've done is I started looking into that today. So I found a couple things. Glenn, I'll get on the phone with you sometime soon. I got a few different ways to think about this thing, and some sort of ready fire resistant systems and things that are minimal, but they could have some color. It could be a nice little addition to the canopy. So let me reach out to you in the next day, maybe even tomorrow, and we can go through some of these things and get an idea how we can attach it to the building and stuff.
Sure, I appreciate it, Jeff. Thank you.
Okay, Jeff, you think you'd have that for our next meeting to show the building committee, or 2 meetings? What do we think?
I'll make it happen.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we had no questions for our design team. Thank you again. Let's move to, Sean's here from Colliers.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. No formal report from me either. I will add to Anthony's report a little bit. A great deal of work's gone into the elevated slab details. There's a lot of rebar, a lot of inspections had to happen for that system, and it's come along nicely. And I noticed today that even though Jason's on vacation, he's following up with the testing company to make sure the proper concrete breaks are done. So it was good to see all of that still happening. And then in addition, I've been working with the library staff to help develop their move management schedule.
Okay, thanks, Sean. Questions for Sean? All right. Like I said, I pretty much tried to give everybody the night off this summer, but we're getting there. Okay, Sharon, we did have some invoices come in, correct? No, we didn't think we would, but we don't get away cheap. What do you got first?
First invoice is Action Air Systems, Inc. Invoice 004904 for $51,283.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Ike, seconded by
I'll second.
Patrick. Thank you. This is the rooftop unit at McMahon. Questions? Any discussion? None. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. Thank you. Next.
The next one we have is the monthly invoice from TSKP, and this one is from McMahon for their services for July 31st, 2024, invoice number 220103-23 for $4,571.40.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Berman, seconded by Mr. Ike. Questions, comments, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. Thank you. Next.
Third invoice is the second one from TSKP, again, their monthly invoice for services rendered for the month of July. invoice number 200802-31 for $21,064.05.
So moved.
Prosser.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Ike, seconded by Mr. Berman. Thank you very much. Questions, discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Nays? Motion passes. Thank you. Next.
Thank you very much for that.
And the,
Geez, you even let Jeff on vacation.
and the fourth and last one is from our engineers, Van Zelm. And this is invoice number 52236 for $907.20.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mr. Ike, seconded by Mr. Berman. This is our commissioning agent. Question?
And this is for services through June 2024.
Okay, Mr. Berman.
Yes, is this for Prosser or McMahon? I don't know which it is.
This
Here
is
he
for
just
Prosser.
It's for Prosser?
Yep. And there's a second page that has the details of what they did.
Yeah. Yeah, but it doesn't say which building. That's the reason I asked.
Mhm.
Yep, it just says libraries.
Thank you.
Was that, oh, Patrick, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So just one quick question. It looks like there was only 2 hours of work total, and the fee is $907.20. So I wanted to know what the billable rate is for Mr. Mara. What's his hourly billable? Is it $450 per hour, or is there other work that's not?
I would have to dig back into their proposal, what the PO was applied to. But it's
Yeah,
a
I
lump
think-
sum project, so, I mean, I can look into that and get you back.
If you look at the
But
front
it's,
page, yes, percent complete 31, so it's working over the total earned and the billing, so they may have 2 hours, but it's also based on the percentage earned.
correct.
Okay.
I'm having a
yeah,
hard time hearing Sharon.
Sorry, Lois, is this
Thank
better
you.
now?
Yes,
I was just responding to Patrick where I mentioned that part of the billing is based on the percentage complete on the first page. So it's not just the total hours. But
Could
we'll
I-
also look in and
could
get
I-
more detail and get back
can I
to you.
see the second page, please?
Certainly.
I don't believe our contract with them is hourly.
Is not.
it's overall, I guess. Yeah, I think this just adds more confusion to it. If this second page isn't, part of what the total invoice is, then maybe we shouldn't even have this second page, because I think it just adds confusion. I mean, it makes it seem like the only work performed during this time was a total of 2 hours.
Excuse me, Mark.
Go ahead, Lois.
Is there a way to get Van Zelm to give us something that's more clear? I know that I asked for that last time. It seems that what they've given us is more confusing. So I'll be voting against this. I just hope that someone could talk with them and get them to tell us clearly what they have done and what it cost.
I think that's a reasonable request. And from other projects, I can tell you it's not the first time this has happened with this contractor.
I can follow up with them on that.
All right. Can we- Who's our Robert's Rules guys? I believe that overrides
Does override.
motion. We have a motion to table.
Yeah, I'll move we table it to the next meeting.
So, second.
Seconded by Patrick. Okay, so all in favor of tabling this?
Aye.
Say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion is tabled. And Sean, we'll leave that up to you to contact the good people at Van Zelm Engineers.
Will do.
And that's all the invoices that I have for
Invoices.
tonight's meeting.
Okay, anything else from the committee? I just want to start and thank Patrick for filling in for me at our last meeting. I understand it went very well, which encourages me to take another night off at some point. Thank you, Patrick.
My pleasure.
Anything from other committee members?
Yeah, I'm on the ship. I'm on the ship at the next meeting. I'll be from the ship. I'll be from the ship.
Okay, well, you spoil us. We expect you to be there no matter where you are. So thank you, Mr. Ike. Mr. Berman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just have one thing I want to bring up that somehow or another we need to be moving forward on the solar because it takes time to negotiate. I don't know if we're in the process of negotiating with the firm, if an RFP has to be done. I don't know where it stands. And I want to suggest that maybe, if we got to do an RFP, that maybe the town would consider putting 330 Park Avenue as well as the two libraries in one RFP. We may be able to get a better arrangement that way because we really need to have McMahon with solar panels as well. And I do understand in the past that may have been a holding problem. But that part of the project needs to be moving forward faster than it has been. And if whoever's involved with that needs some assistance in it, I'm more than willing to help. I have been involved in one other solar panel project. Thank you.
My understanding, Bob, is that it has been assigned to our planner, Jonathan Coleman. So I would suggest you give him a call and see where we're at, and that it was going to apply to not only the two libraries, but the community center as well.
I'll do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Ava.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to also add a thank you to Lois for bringing up that excellent suggestion on negotiating on the landfills. And a big thank you to our town manager, Mr. Schwab, for making that happen, however he did it, because that's great news. I also wanted to mention that it is much easier to see and hear what's going on when you're in Conference 5 as opposed to Conference 2. This is a much better system, much better Zoom application. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ava. Yeah, the system here was upgraded, so we get nice full face views. Any other comments from the committee? All right, thank you, everyone. We're gonna have a meeting on the 21st, and then following that, we are into September. How depressing is that, right?
Very.
Okay. All right, but we're getting closer to the end. Any public with their hands up, Sharon, that would like to speak?
3 persons from the public, but no hands up.
Okay, well, thank you for attending, everybody. How about a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Ike, seconded by Mr. Berman. I say that in my sleep every once in a while. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.